What's up, guys? The Nurburgring is here. So let's go ahead, hop in, and get some laps for the first time on this track. But I have a surprise for you because it's not actually this car we're going to be using. I'm going to show you guys a little trick real quick. So we hopped into the lobby, and first thing you're going to do, back out of the lobby. Why, you may ask? Well, we're going to be using a car that I don't think anyone else in the game has driven yet because it was just added and it's not available for a few more weeks. But if you go down to here, go to the Cadillac option right here. Sorry. Make sure you reset this to any, which I did not. And what's that? That's not the Trans Am car. That is the GT3 car. Right here. That's how you unlock the 4 DLC cars before they're actually released. You just force the car and start race. Unfortunately, you cannot tune the car, so you have to drive it. You can change the tires, which we're going to do right here. So you can do that, but as you can see, there's no option to tune this car, as it's technically a rental when we force the lobby there. So now we are in the Cadillac GT3. You can do this for the Mustang and the Audi TT RS that was added. There was one more car, I'll double check, but there's one more car added as well. So here we are. This is a twin turbocharged V6 Cadillac that raced in the Rally World Challenge. It was a GT3 car, but it only ever raced in that series, which was a bit unfortunate. It was a pretty cool car to run. It was run as a factory program, and they did end up winning the championship. It never raced in IMSA or, well, actually for Daytona, which was a shame. But we have it now in Forza. Once again, it is a extinct GT3 car. We don't have any modern GT3 cars coming into the game, which is a little unfortunate. So let's take a look at the power band on this Cadillac as we're still driving on the normal part. Looks like you definitely want to rev this car all the way out. Sounds like it definitely has a sound of an engine that's already in this game. Sounds very similar to the Ford, in my opinion. So now there's a couple changes to this layout from the previous Forzas, which is good. So instead of having the super tight chicane that we're normally used to, that we've been running with the game right now, at the end of the straight, it's now the fast S's that they use for the 24-hour races. I haven't checked it if it'll let you actually use this layout on the short version, but right through here you'll see we're not going to be having that super tight hairpin, which is right there. Nope, we're going to cut through here, which gives you a lot of speed, and you want to cut back. And now we enter the Nordschleife for the first time. Let's take a look at how it looks. Looks like they've updated a little, like, exterior of the track. Pretty cool. Oh, that's going to be cool. So right there you might be able to see cars coming down the hill, like at Daytona when you're in the infield. You can see cars that are on the banking, which is really neat. This section's always tricky, still got nice bumps. So this track has definitely not gotten easier. Curious if they upgraded the graffiti and if they actually checked to see what everything means. There's always some fun stuff written down on the track here. But we now have the Nurburgring, which I think it's just going to be chaos for every public lobby. I think you're gonna see like half the people quitting the races and half the people finishing a minute behind on this track, because it is. Now, it's going to be interesting to see how this thing does in multiplayer lobbies with the tire wear. I think tire choices are going to be severely limited on this track. I think in terms of GT and how fast they deteriorate, maybe the KTM could use soft tires for most of a lap, but other than that, I can't see anything else lasting a full lap on soft tires or anything even close to that. I think 1 lap on mediums, maybe 2 laps on hards. The track feels great so far. Flows well. I'm trying to remember as much as I can. It's been a while since I have hopped onto this track. feels good. Overall, it just feels great, and the more smooth you drive in this game, the better the tracks really feel. I've really stopped trying to like chase each 10th and just really try and smooth out my lines a little bit more recently, and it's been a much more enjoyable driving experience, and I ended up going way faster than when I actually tried to push. I tend to just overdrive a little bit too much. But now, the car feels good, game feels good. I tried to actually get a lap earlier, and I was going to take a photo for a screenshot, and it completely crashed the game, unfortunately. So this is the second attempt of trying to get this done. What I've learned is you can't really take photos. Forza, without the game break. Probably just pause the game, go to photo mode, and just take a screenshot on Xbox itself, and just not even worry about the full screen system. It doesn't work quite yet, and one thing we learned recently with the replay system is you can only keep 7 replays. So you can record multiplayer lobbies if they're under 5 minutes. You can only keep 7 of them. So now we're going all the way through the fastest part of the track, second fastest part of the track. Curbs are really usable in some parts of the track. Some they're a little bit too high to touch, but that's where it's the ring. The car does feel absolutely pushy. Yep, there we go. With no tune, it's very difficult for me to get the brake pressure right. I'm used to a very high brake pressure, but it does not have a lot of turn-in with the base setup where the aero is balanced. This car is probably going to drive pretty darn good with a full front, no rear aero setup. Feels pretty stable at the back. Feels pretty easy to get power down, but I feel like tuning this car is going to be pretty drivable at its fastest setup. Like similar to the Viper, which feels really, really good, and it's fast. So you can push that car to its limit very easily, unlike some of the other cars, which are a little bit harder to drive. So one of the other cars, the Ford Trans Am, is coming to the game. We are going to be hosting a Trans Am race on Friday night for the Trans Am cars that are already in. So the Cadillac, the Corvette, and the Challenger. If you're interested in that, the race will be at 7 o'clock with a practice lobby opening at 6:30 Eastern on Friday. Once that Ford gets added, I'm thinking we're going to be having a Trans Am night. Once a week, open lobby, not like a scheduled series. It's just show up when you can, and we're going to be running those 4 Trans Am cars in some races together. 850 horsepower. It's going to be a lot of fun. So if you're interested in that, join the Discord, and let's see what kind of top speed we can get up to on the long straight. Here's the paddock. This is where you're coming in from. Doing a guest lap in real life. Coming there. There's a pit. Interesting. I don't know if you can use that, but it's there. All the way up. You're gonna get to, I think, 185. A little bouncy there. That was super light through there. The front end definitely was coming off the ground. But right there, we're gonna come through the last corner, back onto the main circuit, and that is our first lap on the Nurburgring in Forza motorsport. Just a little bit of contact when I wasn't paying attention, but thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.